So Superman Legacy released a couple days ago and I watched it yesterday, and I'm here to recommend you to watch it or not, even though you probably will. Why would you be watching this video if you didn't want to watch it? But anyways, I've been waiting for this movie to come out ever since it was announced back in the beginning of 2023. In anticipation for it, I even made a review of the last big screen Superman movie that no one watched. Damn. Anyway, my biggest problem with the Zack Snyder movies is that Superman wasn't really handled well, which was my biggest concern for this movie as well, if that was gonna happen. But I felt really happy that I think this is probably my favorite version of the character I've ever seen in a theatrical film. Especially the way David Cornswet plays him. He is Superman in this movie. He really fits the role in my opinion. I also remember him from Pearl, he was pretty good in that too. The other characters are really good too. Lois acts exactly like she would in my opinion, no issue with her. Lex is the perfect spiteful piece of shit. He's missing the nice deep voice, but he's still Lex Luthor, of course. All the others like Guy or Terrific, very good as well. I'm pretty sure this is the first time they've ever been in a big screen movie, and this is a really nice first impression for a much more wider audience that doesn't read comic books or watch cartoons. It's a lot more colorful and nice feeling in my opinion, which I think is a much more fitting vibe for Superman. Not the dark edgelord stuff. That really isn't a fitting thing for the character, or just not the level that Snyder's universe was going for. At Crypto, Superman's base, just a bunch of shit a general audience wouldn't be as familiar with, and I'm so happy it got featured in the movie. The story in itself is really nice as well. It's made clear from the beginning that Superman isn't a new guy. He's been around for a couple of years now. It completely skips over the origin stuff, which I think is a very good choice. It makes it very clear that this is a large universe with many iconic characters walking around within it. Like every person on Earth is already used to this shit by now. It's something I appreciate in the Spider-Man PS4 game, for example, as well. Like that game makes it clear this Peter is a grown man and this world is very familiar with superhero stuff. Considering the Avengers Tower is just like a random building within the game, it completely skips over the part where society has to get used to all the jargon. And I enjoy a good origin story, but sometimes I'm fine with the filmmaker just plopping me in the middle of a universal story. And I'm really excited to see what other stories could be told within the DCU, because this movie is in itself a good framework for that type of stuff. Back to the plot. The story manages to use politics well in my opinion, like the argument of Superman stopping a war while entering a country illegally feels natural. Like some of the public views it like a political move representing the US, but Clark wasn't intending any of that, he just didn't want people to die, of course. Another thing that feels natural and very human is Clark and Lois' relationship. They're in a weird in-between stage where they're going out but they can't really say they're dating yet. And something like that isn't really seen in action movies, even if they have a big reliance on character dynamics. Aside from that, I don't really want to spoil all the stuff that happens because it's just a really good movie and it's not even been a week yet. The big gripe I have with it though is that it's just so goddamn chaotic. It has a lot of cool stuff in my opinion, especially if you're very familiar with who Superman is, like as a character, but it just tries to juggle so much at the same time, and because of that, it feels like sometimes it's going very fast with not much time to like sit down and really take a breather. Like everything is good, but jamming all of that good stuff into a 2-hour runtime can make it feel a little bloated sometimes. But aside from that, there's nothing I'd say is done badly, I guess. The fights are very well made in my opinion. My favorite part is just the way the camera constantly zooms out and then zooms back in very closely. It's super alive, dynamic, just very good cinematography. Just period. This movie is just a very good kickstart for the universe, and judging by the high critical reception and its very good financial success, I think most people would agree with me on this. I've said the opposite before, but I'm gonna say this now, I really don't hate cinematic universes. I just think a lot of them aren't executed very well, and Phase 4 in the MCU really left me with a bad taste in my mouth. But a shared universe in media is a very cool idea in my opinion. With that, I'll give this movie an 8 out of 10.